A Plaguelands Media production.
Hey everyone, this is Hugh from Plaguelands Media bringing you another book review. This is the final in the X-Men Onslaught Complete Epic. This is book 4. This covers Fantastic Four, 416, X-Men 56, Onslaught Marvel Universe, Cable 38, Uncanny X-Men 337, X-Men 57, Onslaught Epilogue, Iron Man 6, and X-Men Road to Onslaught. So there is a lot to uncover. This is going to be the end of the Onslaught Epic storyline. If you don't want spoilers, please don't watch this video. Go and watch one of my other ones. They are all fucking awesome. If you have no idea what I'm fucking talking about, go back and watch the other 3 videos in this series. It will catch you up on the story. So, let's get started. Cheers, everybody. With another episode of Okay, so we have finally come to the end of the Onslaught Epic. So I suggest, if you're going to continue watching this, full disclosure, completely filled with spoilers, you might want to strap yourself in because it's going to be a hell ride from here. I'm ready. So let's just, oh boy. Okay, let's get started with Volume 4 of Onslaught, the Complete Epic. As per usual, we have our previously, everything that's gone on. You can go back and watch the other 3 videos in this series to find out what's going on. We start with Fantastic Four. So, Dr. Doom is in Latveria, monitoring what's happening in New York with the Sentinels. And he is a little bit pissy, as Dr. Doom often is pissy, that Onslaught has all this power, and Dr. Doom believes that he is the one who deserves it. So we go to Freedom, the Fantastic Four's Freedom Plaza, or Freedom 4 Towers, or whatever the fuck it's called, where we see the X-Men and the Avengers that were taken out by Onslaught kind of recuperating. And Sue Storm is still all upset about losing Franklin. So they kind of talk. Then we cut to Onslaught's base, where Franklin is discovering that if he tries really hard with his reality warping powers, he can actually reach out and communicate with his family. Onslaught at this point is like, you know what? I'll let him do that to an extent, because I got a plan, because he's Onslaught. Then we get Iceman and Hawkeye. Hawkeye's kind of complaining that their job is just watching Onslaught's base. We have Alicia Masters and her father arriving. Alicia Masters, of course, is the on-again, off-again girlfriend / fiancé of Ben Grimm, the Thing. Alicia Masters' father is the former Fantastic Four villain known as the Puppet Master. And he has come to basically help out. This is a kind of a period of time where the villains realize that we also must help the heroes if we are all going to survive. And then all of a sudden, we start getting villains appearing. In this case, I believe that's Kang the Conqueror. And a ton of former Fantastic Four villains appear and start like tearing shit up. We have the Super Skrull. This is at a point in time where Johnny Storm was dating a woman who was actually a Skrull in disguise, and the reason that she was in disguise was because she was in love with him and they had broken up, but she still wanted to see him. So she puts on this deception and he knows that it's her, but he goes along with it. And long story short, they reconcile, but then the Skrulls attack. The Skrulls, of course, are the shape-shifting aliens. If you are familiar with the MCU, the Skrulls first appeared in, if I'm not mistaken, Captain Marvel. But I believe there is a Secret Invasion television show planned, which is going to look into the Skrulls a bit deeper. The Skrulls and the Kree are the two big alien races that are always kind of fighting in the Marvel universe. So we have a lot of the heroes, like Inhumans, that's Black Bolt, Medusa, teaming up to fight all of these villains that have suddenly appeared out of nowhere, and each time they are defeated, the villains just disappear, which is a clue as to who these villains are. They are manifestations by Franklin Richards. Onslaught is letting him kind of push them out. Unwittingly, of course, like he is being used. Namor appears. Namor the Submariner is in love with Sue Storm, always has been. Hates Reed Richards, but they demand a truce, seeing whose boobs are bigger. I believe Namor wins that competition. Black Panther comes, She-Hulk. So it's basically all the heroes fighting all the classic Fantastic Four villains. And then Doctor Doom appears. And Doctor Doom is like, okay, I'll help you out. And then, so there's Mole Man from, I believe, the very first Fantastic Four villain. And they defeat the villains, of course. Very short battles, but very entertaining. And then they agree with this fantastic page that they are going to go and kick some fucking ass. The end for now. Okay, now we have an issue of X-Men with Magneto and Rogue kind of teaming up. I had this issue. It was really cool. Where they are basically rescuing people and going against the Sentinels. Magneto, of course, does not remember his past. People have told him what he did, but he is still Joseph at this point. And we have some great dialogue between Captain America and Magneto. Magneto is saying that he wants to atone for what he did. Captain America not judging Magneto at all because of all the good that Magneto's been doing at the moment. It's a really great page. And Onslaught is basically gearing up. He has captured Nate Gray, the X-Man. And Professor X, who was rescued from Onslaught but no longer has his powers, has a talk with the former Magneto, and they kind of hash things out about what's going on. Nate Gray is psychically tortured by Onslaught. And then the heroes are basically just gearing up for the big push. Professor Xavier goes to confront Onslaught, and to be concluded in Marvel Universe Onslaught. This was the big issue. This was the big comic at the time. So you can see there that Onslaught is now his own entity. He doesn't need Professor X anymore. He has X-Men. He has Franklin Richards, possibly the most powerful minds on the planet now that Xavier is powerless. This, when it hit the newsstands, I damn near shit my pants with this one. This issue was, I'm just going to be completely blunt here, fucking awesome. So, starts with the Watcher, who Looks a little bit like my dead grandmother there. Really fucking weird. Kind of talking about what happened. And Charles is still kind of going back and forth with Onslaught. But then the X-Men come and they're like, you didn't think you'd do this? We have Wolverine, Cable, Gambit, Bishop, Storm, Jean Grey, Cyclops, and Rogue, carrying the Professor, and Magneto, or Joseph as he is known in this. And they just start attacking Onslaught because that's what the X-Men do. They are joined by the Avengers and the Fantastic Four. Basically, this was all of the great super teams of the time. The Avengers had a rotating roster. And similarly, the Fantastic Four did as well. There were times when members came and members went, and then the X-Men was kind of always changing. But in my opinion, this was one of the greatest times for all of these teams in the comics. So they're all attacking. Magneto is protecting Xavier. And the X-Men, Nate Gray and Franklin Richards, are kind of having a back and forth. How are we going to escape? Franklin Richards, of course, raised by the Fantastic Four, has hope that his parents are going to win and that they're going to get out of this. And in the meantime, they are trying everything to get to Onslaught, and it's just not working. So they come up with a plan. They kind of try and batter the shields with strength. Onslaught's shields. Onslaught is just too powerful. Nothing can harm him. So they switch off the Bruce Banner part of the Hulk, and they just turn him into the Savage Hulk. This is one of my favorite comic book panels of all time. Hulk and Onslaught go one-on-one like Muhammad Ali fighting Superman, which did happen in a comic book. Look it up, people. And while that's going on, Sue and Reed kind of have a little, I love you too. And then all the other heroes kind of do their thing. And it seems like Hulk is actually winning. And Hulk basically beats the crap out of Onslaught, cracking his armor until Onslaught smashes him so hard he splits Banner from the Hulk. So they are two separate entities now. But the Hulk manages to smash, or crack, I should say, Onslaught's armor, and Onslaught becomes a being of pure psionic energy. At this point, they discover that, or they theorize, I should say, that if someone can contain that psionic energy and then that person is killed, the being known as Onslaught will be destroyed. Thor, being a god, decides, I will try and do it. At the same time, Thing and Johnny Storm fly into the psionic energy, but it is too much, and they realize that no one person can contain this. So all of the Avengers rush in. The tragedy of this plan is that mutants can't help. So only humans and metahumans, I guess you could say, can do this. So this is where we get the Avengers rushing in, the Fantastic Four going in. Doctor Doom gets kind of taken in because he was trying to steal the power, but they realize what he's doing. Iron Man and Hawkeye realize what he's doing. So they drag him in, they go. And once all of that psionic energy has been contained, that's when the X-Men attack. Basically, what the X-Men are doing here is trying to kill all of the heroes that have sucked up the psionic energy. The Hulk is unconscious, but Bruce Banner goes in. So this leaves the Hulk in the Marvel 616 universe with no Bruce Banner side, which was really fucking cool at the time. Their ultimate aim, however, is to free Nate Gray and Franklin Richards, which they managed to do with another side page. The art of this issue is just phenomenal. I've just got to kind of say that. They managed to free them, but at what cost? All of the heroes have been destroyed, and then we get Apocalypse talking to the Watcher about what happened. But you see Franklin, and there's this little ball here on this page and this page, and then here. The saga continues in Fantastic Four 1, Captain America 1, Iron Man 1, Avengers 1. Well, Franklin Richards actually created a pocket dimension where the heroes are trapped. This was the Heroes Reborn storyline, which was universally panned by people, but I thought it was pretty cool. And the art by Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld, and all those kind of people was just really, really cool. But they're not dead, so don't worry. However, what this has done, it's left a world without heroes, and the X-Men are blamed, so mutants are going to be persecuted even more in the coming days. Cable, at this point, Cable is in the Fantastic Four. The techno-organic virus is spreading even worse through his body because he used so much power trying to stop Onslaught and trying to help the heroes. We have Cannonball, Domino, Caliban, and Storm, and Franklin Richards is there. Franklin Richards, of course, is very grateful to Cable because Cable did his best to try and save him. We also have Reed Richards' father, who kind of pussied out at the last minute, but is a genius from the future or an alternate timeline. I forget which one. And they are just trying to save Cable's life. At this point, nothing is working, so he's suggesting to them, say your last rites, because Cable is all but gone at this point. So then Cable goes into almost like that place people talk about between dying and heaven, if you believe in that kind of a thing. A lot of people do. And he sees his son Tyler kind of grown up, and they reconcile. We go back to the present where the techno-organic virus is just running rampant and is out of control. I mean, look at the blood on this panel here. It's amazing. So, just trying to save Cable's life at this point. Cable sees his wife. They talk. They get a lot of shit out in the open. But ultimately she says, nope, you've got to go back. And he manages to get everything under control, and he is back to normal. Same old Cable. In fact, a little bit stronger than he was before. A really cool issue. I do like the character of Cable. I think when you get rid of all the time traveling, the son of Cyclops and Jean Grey fucking nonsense, Cable's a really interesting character, and I do like that he was so pivotal in this story. Then we go to the Uncanny X-Men. This is the aftermath. The mansion's been destroyed, and they're just trying to pick up the pieces. Wolverine and Charles have a heart-to-heart. Wolverine, of course, still in his stupid feral beast form. You can see the mansion there. Then we get Bastion. Bastion is in Central Park, where Onslaught had his tower. There's now just a giant crater. Graydon Creed, who is running for president at this point, is using it for publicity. We have Peter Parker here taking photographs. Peter Parker, of course, being Spider-Man. If you don't know that, you've got no right to watch this fucking video. And then we see J. Jonah Jameson, who is talking about how much he likes Graydon Creed, because he's always been a dick against superheroes like Spider-Man and whatnot. Cyclops wakes up, blows his alarm clock up with his optic beams. Very odd. This is a really bizarre part of the story, because he's in the bathroom and I think Beast is taking a shit on the ceiling or something. I don't really know, but he shoots Beast and Beast falls in the bathtub. And then they can't get Beast out of the bathtub. Yes, this is actually part of the fucking story. And then Iceman plays a trick on them and he shoots Iceman. Okay. Now we go to Jean Grey making pancakes in the most revealing fucking robe I have ever seen. And Quicksilver's just sitting there going, oh, I'm not even going to think about like your fucking leg here. I'm just going to mope around because I lost my sister. And Jean Grey comes over and hugs him from behind wearing that bathrobe like he wouldn't be getting a fucking super chubby right now. Just ridiculous. And then he speeds around, setting the table, probably doing a sneaky little fucking rub and tug as he runs, because... Are you fucking kidding me? Come on. And then Psylocke comes in her uniform, which... Come on. He's just got another super boner. It's just bound to happen. Bastion arrives at his secret lair. Smacks a guy in the face because the guy is dressed like him. Wolverine and Charles Xavier continue their heart-to-heart. Gambit comes in, getting ready for pancakes. Look at his eye level there, you dirty fuck. Bishop doesn't know how to wear shirts that fit. And then they all kind of have a little bit of a fun around the table. Wolverine comes in shirtless, sits down, and he's like, yeah, let's just have breakfast because Charles isn't coming. That's the issue. Okay. Now we get a farewell to Xavier. Xavier's going through his files, realizing that he no longer has his mutant ability anymore. It is completely gone. There's a knocking at the door, and we have Val Cooper. Val Cooper is kind of like the government liaison to mutants. At one point, she was leading X-Force or X-Factor, directing them on missions and whatnot. And she's here for Charles, and the X-Men are like, no fucking way are you taking him. And then we get this wonderful page where the three of them are basically looking at her pussy. There's no other way to take that page. Remember, 90s comics, so no one really cared. And they're all kind of arguing, you're not taking him. And she's like, yes, I am. And then Storm and Carmen, everyone has an opinion here. Should he go? Should he stay? We look after our own. We're mutants, blah, blah, blah. And then we get Beast in his... Beast has a thing where he can appear like a human. It's like a illusion of disguise, a little piece of electronic equipment that makes him appear as a human, because as we know, Beast is the blue fairy mutant. And he is meeting Trish Tilby. Trish Tilby was Beast's former love. She was a reporter, and they broke up because she broke the news about the legacy virus when he asked her not to, so he saw that as a betrayal of trust. But he basically brings her here to say, listen, I was kidnapped, a whole lot of shit happened, and I just wanted to apologize. I shouldn't have pushed you away like that. I love you, blah, 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 blah. Very nice, very touching scene. Quite enjoyed it. Then we go back to the mansion. They're still arguing over should Charles go or should Charles stay. J. Jonah Jameson is meeting with Bastion, or one of Bastion's lackeys, I should say. Basically, they want to pay him off, and he's like, go fuck yourself. Again, we go back to the argument, and then Charles is like, I will go with you. I am still a danger to everyone. You guys look after yourselves. I'll be fine. And everyone sheds a tear. And then we get to the last page where Psylocke comes home. Psylocke at this point is with Archangel. She comes back to their home. He's gone. There are shards of metal and a single feather. What does this signify? Well, Archangel in the Mutant Massacre storyline had his wings removed by Apocalypse and replaced with metal wings, and he became one of the Four Horsemen before he broke the brainwashing. And he's always had the metal wings and the blue skin and the Apocalypse kind of lines. But here it suggests that his wings have in fact grown back. A very interesting development. When I actually read this panel, I damn near shit in my pants. Actually, I might have shit in my pants. I've done that quite a bit. Anyway, we'll just say there was poo involved. Then we come to the Onslaught epilogue, the path to redemption. This finds Charles in prison as prisoner M13. The prison is in fact the Hulkbuster base, the base that was designed to capture and contain the Hulk. He is being tortured by Bastion, even though he came of his own free will. He was passed over to Bastion, and Bastion is just being a supercock. Smacking him around, trying to get to the bottom of who is Onslaught. This psychologist comes, who Bastion wants to question Charles, get all the information she can out of him, find out if he's lying or not. At this point, we find out there is also another prisoner called Nina, or prisoner M9. Nina has a lot of different psychic abilities, much like Charles. She can walk through walls. She can distort reality. She makes images appear on the surveillance cameras so people can't see what she's doing. But we also find out that she wasn't born a mutant. She was actually created in the lab. She's never been outside of the lab. So she befriends Charles. Bastion races to Charles' cell to kind of catch him in the act. Bastion thinks Charles is doing all this when it's not actually him. Charles is just sitting there. Here we get Daryl. Daryl is a renowned mutant hunter. He is a mutant himself, so to speak, in that his ability is his mind can block out psychic probes and things like that. So he's got like a psi shield going on. He and Bastion have a one-on-one. Bastion has him arrested. And then this doctor is interrogating Charles. She's not evil at all. She's just doing this because she has to. Charles realizes that. Charles is doing his best to kind of cooperate. Bastion kind of realizes that the little girl needs to be killed, needs to be executed. But if they remain in the base, she's going to be able to read his mind and realize what is about to happen. So he and the lackeys go up, and he orders Daryl to kill this little girl. The little girl goes to see Charles. Charles realizes that she can actually use the bear to contact people outside. And Charles thinks that this might be a good way to get her out of this facility if they can contact someone on the outside. So he contacts Valerie Cooper. The doctor comes. Charles creates a... Oh, the doctor, realizes that Nina is powerful and needs to be rescued. And her and Charles come up with a plan. So Charles creates a diversion in the bunker, allowing the doctor and the girl to escape. However, the doctor and the girl run into Daryl, and Daryl has to execute Nina. Charles is apprehended. Daryl brings Nina's body up to Bastion and says it's done. He didn't shoot her. He broke her neck. Throws the corpse into the helicopter, and the helicopter flies off. But when they check on the body, it's gone. The doctor comes with a black eye because Daryl knocked her out. Charles believes that Nina is dead. The doctor believes that Nina is dead. And then the phone rings, and it's Nina, and Valerie had found her in the desert. Daryl had basically told Nina to shield her mind, and she was going to appear dead, and when she got into the helicopter, before it took off, phase down through the helicopter, land on the ground, and run to this point, and someone would pick them up. So Charles's plan worked, and Nina is rescued at the end of the comic. I'm not entirely sure what happens to this character. It's something that I really want to look up. Now we move to the Invincible Iron Man #1, Heroes Reborn. And the Hulk is shielding a gamma radiation leak. And we get a vision of Onslaught. So we know that some part of Onslaught was dragged into this new reality by Franklin when he created it to protect his parents and the Avengers and all of those sorts of people. So Onslaught is actually still around. And Onslaught does come back in the Onslaught Reborn story, which I never actually read. Onslaught was the last big storyline I got into when I was collecting comics, so I kind of missed out on all of this. Then we have The Road to Onslaught. This is just explaining everything that happens to Charles Xavier that leads up to the whole Onslaught saga. It's a nice throwback, but if you've been watching my videos or reading comics, you don't really need it. Some script ideas, all that kind of thing, which is kind of fun. And then some great cover art, alternative kind of covers, X-Men Onslaught. And that is Onslaught, the complete epic. What did I think of this? Well, let me take a drink first. Oh, that's good. As a epic event that ran through multiple books, I thought it was really cool. The whole thing really starts in the Fatal Attractions storyline when Magneto rips the adamantium out of Wolverine. And that was, at the time, huge. I remember the issue. It was X-Men issue 25. Had the hologram on the cover. And then to have that plant the seed for such a memorable villain, I thought, when I was first reading this back in the day, I thought that was really freaking awesome. The ending, I know that Marvel wanted people to go, oh no, the heroes are gone, but then there's that ball, what's going to happen? People guessed what that ball was from day fucking one. It wasn't, wasn't anything hidden, but it was still a cool idea to kind of test the waters with a soft reboot. DC did this many years later with the New 52, which came about after the Flashpoint storyline. A lot of people fucking hated the New 52. Not me. I thought the New 52 was pretty fucking good. But this was the huge kind of Marvel event. And this also brought the X-Men back to, like, just being hated by everyone. I mean, we got all the mutant hysteria stories, and you had Bastion with the with everything, and Graydon Creed, who was the son of the normal son of Mystique and Sabretooth. But this really brought it back to mutants being hated and persecuted, and it actually leads on to the Operation Zero Tolerance storyline, which I might actually do next. I do have the Operation Zero Tolerance graphic, so I might do that next, so you all get a sense of kind of where the X-Men went from here. But this is the end of Onslaught, the Complete Epic. This was book 4. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, subscribe, leave a comment. If there are any other storylines, I do have a lot of the big X-Men storylines. The Joss Whedon run on Astonishing X-Men, Fatal Attractions, Mutant Massacre, Age of Apocalypse, Operation Zero Tolerance. If you want to see any of these, or if you want me to do one of the Spider-Man storylines, like Maximum Carnage or Into the Spider-Verse, let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to accommodate. But as always, hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, follow, do all the shit at the end, and stay safe. I'll see you in the next one.